Benny and Sara Kirtley love to talk about the good old days. They say God always saw them through, especially when it came to tough financial seasons, like years ago when Benny was in his 50s and found out he had heart problems.
I was in a very stressful job, and I knew that if I didn't quit, I'd die.
He had to get a pacemaker and go on disability, which drastically affected the couple's income. Around that time, the two became Christians, and Benny heard God speak to him about giving right away.
He said, "Hey, you start giving and I'll start giving."
We talked about it, but I'll be honest, I didn't know where it was going to come from.
Still, in the midst of the financial uncertainty, the couple chose to trust God with their money, and they tithed for the first time.
And when we started tithing, things began to change, really for the better.
Sara went from part-time to full-time work, making more than she ever had. Even when that job ended, Christmas coming up and no food in the fridge, the Kirtleys believed God would somehow intervene because they'd been consistently tithing.
We got on our knees, and he heard us. I know he did. Things came out of the blue.
And there was a woman in the church that heard that we didn't have any money. So she hands a check to our pastor, and it was for $250. It came from God, and he was saying, I've got you back. You're going to have food on the table for Christmas.
They immediately gave 10% of that $250 to their church, and God kept providing in the midst of Benny's health challenges. He got a paper route and helped a neighbor remodel his home, while Sara landed some interior decorating jobs. Then they fulfilled a long-standing dream and opened a very successful restaurant, always tithing from their income. Even when they finally retired, they decided to tithe on their Social Security and any additional income they received.
We found out we could not afford not to tithe.
It's easy. He promises in Scripture that he will give us more.
On top of tithing, the Kirtleys started giving to CBN.
We got to where we were really interested in what 700 Club was doing, and it touched our hearts. Medical, surgical, building homes, setting up businesses for these people, communities. These are people that need help, and children. They're becoming orphans. Then Benny said, "Do you want to start tithing to the 700 Club?" And I said, "Can we do it?" He said, "Can we not?" So we did.
The couple has increased their pledge to CBN several times and has given generous one-time gifts as well.
We're dedicated to helping other people through the 700 Club because I think it's one of the few things he asks us to do after we accept him is to further his kingdom. That's important, it really is.
Giving to the 700 Club is giving to the world. 700 Club are my feet. They're walking it there. All I'm doing is helping write the check.
Now in their golden years, they challenge others to tithe, to give to CBN, and watch what God will do.
He's just asking for us to do our part.
Pray about it and let God lead you and guide you. That money is not ours, it's his.
You can't outgive God. You cannot.